Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has called on former US President Donald Trump to disclose his plan for ending the ongoing conflict with Russia, expressing a willingness to meet with Trump if he wins the upcoming election. Zelensky's remarks, made during an interview with Bloomberg Television on Wednesday, come amidst continued military aid and strategic discussions between Ukraine and its Western allies. If Trump knows how to finish this war, he should tell us today. If there are risks to Ukrainian independence, if we lose statehood, we want to be ready for this. We want to know. Zelensky also indicated his readiness to meet with Trump to hear his proposal, should Trump emerge victorious in the presidential race. Trump has repeatedly claimed that he could resolve the conflict within 24 hours if he were in office, a statement that has drawn both skepticism and interest from various quarters. During a recent presidential debate, Trump criticized the extensive financial support provided by the US to Ukraine, suggesting that the war is not being won by Kyiv. He reiterated his promise to settle the conflict swiftly. I'm only saying the money that we're spending on this war, and we shouldn't be spending, it should have never happened. I will have that war settled between Putin and Zelensky as president-elect before I take office on January 20th. I'll have that war settled. Zelensky responded to Trump's remarks by inviting him to visit Ukraine and discuss his proposed solutions directly. The Ukrainian leader also addressed the notion of a deadlock in the war, arguing that the situation is challenging but not insurmountable. It's not a deadlock, it's a problematic situation. A deadlock means there's no way out. But a problem can be solved if one has the will and has the tools. We do have the will and the tools. They haven't arrived yet. Amidst these developments, Zelensky praised the $61 billion assistance package approved by the US Congress earlier this year, but lamented the delays in the arrival of necessary equipment. This is the biggest tragedy of this war, that between the decision and real fact, we have a real long wait. In light of these delays, US Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin announced a new $2.3 billion military aid package for Ukraine, including air defense interceptors, anti-tank weapons, and other critical munitions from US inventories. This package aims to bolster Ukraine's defense capabilities, particularly in terms of airspace protection.
What we continue to see on the ground is it remains a tough fight. Russia continues to attempt to take ground, but the Ukrainians have done a good job of holding the line. Again, for context, in the 7 months that we were working to get additional security assistance and supplemental funding for Ukraine, the Russians made an effort to try to push and take Ukrainian territory and really did not accomplish that much in terms of the amount of geography that they were able to take. So what we see now is the Ukrainians, in large part, empowered by the security assistance that's being rushed in, to include ammunition, are now continuing to hold the line. We'll continue to support them in their efforts to defend themselves.
And I am proud that the United States will soon announce more than $2.3 billion in new security assistance for Ukraine. This package, under Presidential Drawdown Authority, will provide more air defense interceptors, anti-tank weapons, and other critical munitions from U.S. inventories. It will also enable the United States to procure more Patriot NASAMS, air defense interceptors, which will be provided on an accelerated timeline by the resequencing of deliveries for some foreign military sales.
The package will be a combination of Presidential Drawdown Authority and Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative funding, which will provide a significant number of urgently needed air defense interceptors to protect Ukrainian cities and civilians from Russia's unrelenting aerial attacks, as well as artillery and anti-tank weapons to support Ukraine's needs on the front lines.
Russian officials, however, have dismissed Trump's assertions about a quick resolution to the conflict. Vasily Nebenzia, Russia's UN ambassador, stated that the Ukrainian crisis cannot be solved in one day, reflecting the broader skepticism regarding Trump's claims.
The Ukrainian crisis cannot be solved in one day. That's objective.
Meanwhile, two former Trump administration advisors have proposed a strategy to force peace negotiations by threatening Moscow with increased aid to Ukraine if Russia does not engage in talks, while withholding aid from Ukraine if it refuses to negotiate. This plan underscores the complexity and high stakes of the ongoing conflict. As the war continues, Zelensky remains firm in his commitment to Ukraine's sovereignty and independence. He rejected suggestions from Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban to consider a ceasefire without a clear, workable plan. Nobody has an answer, Zelensky said, emphasizing the need for concrete solutions rather than vague proposals.